chose to live in this community, and I found it to be a very nice place to live over the past 6 to 8 years. The thing that I'm encountering, and I'm going to actually kind of direct it, some of it to Mayor Norton, is how do we build community trust? And with our government officials and some of the things that I've encountered over the past couple of years, especially since COVID, and I went to Sean Palmer, my work district, or whatever we call it, and we came out with a mask policy. For the audience and those viewing online, the justification for that keeps arising. Initially, it was male needs outweighed at 90%. It wasn't a medical issue, and it was, well, you can go into establishments and don't worry about Mayor Norton said the same thing. You can go into establishments and say, you have a medical condition, you don't have to wear a mask. Well, you don't want to play that game. But I want to go back to community trust. Fast forward a little bit to when things were starting to catch on a little bit more through this COVID thing. I was out of town most of the time with my business, so lucky Rochester, I'm in town. And what it escalated throughout COVID has been the lack of trust in the community with our government officials and those are to represent us. And I mean that by example, Mayor Norton had a Facebook account that she has hijacked and says it's her own. Now, she has censored. I have spoken to Michael Spindler Krage a number of times. The gist of me coming up here is, who does the city attorney represent? I asked for Mayor Norton's public calendar. She's been in office 3.5 years, was a representative before that, has never published a calendar until I brought that up. Couple that with, I'm told it's not a statute in this state of Minnesota that is required to keep meeting minutes. Fine, well, and good. But do you think it's a good policy that when she's going over to Germany, representing us with the Council of whatever, Europe, and the Germans that come over here, or Walls, it's going to be in town, that we know as taxpayers how we're being represented? Well, when I asked for the calendar, I was told she mixed her personal schedule with the public calendar. It took weeks till I could get the calendar. And that leads me to, because it took weeks, she was allowed to scrub it. Who did oversight? When I asked for a copy of the calendar for the past maybe 12 months, I wanted it in a certain format. They said, no, you can't do that. We're going to have to make you pay for it. She, Mechon Rocker, spent 10 hours, and I don't know what IT spent, on scrubbing her calendar. What did Mayor Norton remove from the calendar? Why don't we have meeting minutes for everything that she represents us for? And I would think that as a public, everybody in this room, online, would be interested on how our tax money is being spent. Does Michael Spindler Krage represent Mayor Norton? Because he spent 45 minutes on the phone with me telling me, you can't have it in the format you want. Now, I would think that it would have taken 5 minutes, if that, to get me in the format. I work in IT. Not a divine revelation there. I took it to Office 365 and dropped those calendars in seconds. They would have charged me as a taxpayer, and her malfeasance with commingling her own personal calendar, scrubbing it, and that Mr. Spindler Krage, does he represent City Council or does he represent Mayor Norton personally? That's my question. Thank you.